Hello guys, and welcome back to a brand new Two Ordinary Guys video. The title kind of gives this video away, and for many people I can imagine that you're probably going to be shocked, because the one thing I didn't do was speak about this to anybody. My closest friends, Lucy, my family, and obviously you guys as well. Obviously I haven't put it on social media anywhere, and it's something that I want to address in a video that I'm going to sit down and sort of talk about in detail, the reason I'm doing this and the reason that it's kind of followed. I want to stress though, before I even get into this video, that the University of Worcester have been so supportive with my decision. The team themselves isn't the reason why I'm moving different courses, for example. I would recommend the University of Worcester Paramedic Science to everybody. I really think that I made the right decision when I came and decided to go to university to study Paramedic Science. The content that we're taught, how in depth we are, the experience of the people that are on the team are absolutely amazing. And if anyone is considering Paramedic Science, I would definitely consider the University of Worcester, because for me it is the best university out there. And if anyone wants any advice, please come to me, as you always have been. I'm happy to give you my experiences and sort of talk you through the University of Worcester. So many of you guys are probably wondering what I'm talking about in this, and it's been going on now since the end of first year, and I haven't been honest with anyone, and I wanted to sort of sit down here and talk to you in a non-formal way. I know that this video is going to come to a shock, and I hope you guys will support me through this journey. This is just the start of the journey, and I want to sort of put across on this video as well that if you're going through a time in your life where you think, this is my dream, and then you come to it, and when you're doing it, it actually isn't, but you feel like you have to carry on because this was your dream, and you've portrayed to everybody that this is your dream, and when you actually get there, you realise that it actually isn't. And I want this to come across, and if I'm doing this now, and sort of I've been documenting my journey for 2-3 years now, all the way up to going to university. I've started my first shifts on the ambulance service. I've took it all the way through. I'm in my second year now. This year is supposed to be the biggest year of my life to date, and it is, but in a different way. I want you to take away from this video, if anything else, hope you still follow me on my journey, but if you don't, I want to say thank you for following me all the way to my second year of Paramedic Science, to enabling to sort of listen to me and sort of talk about why I've chosen what I have done. But also, if you're going through a similar situation, I want this to sort of inspire you to actually say, no, I want to follow my dream, and to sort of put yourself first. I think that's important. I found, and it's been quite difficult actually, the past couple of months, 6 months, I felt as though I couldn't talk to people about how I feel, because I've portrayed myself online, and I enjoy doing that. I enjoy documenting my journey. I enjoy making YouTube videos about things I'm passionate about, and I haven't lost passion for Paramedic Science. The content that we're taught, the things that we're taught are so interesting. Learning about the treatment plans, learning about what happens and why, what causes bronchitis. I haven't lost any passion that way. I've kind of just seen my career pathway change, and I'm very thankful for Paramedic Science for enabling me to find the right way and to find my right career pathway, which I'm going to talk about in a moment, so obviously stay tuned for that. So I'm going to get into detail now about why I chose. I'm going to sort of talk about each step. Because I portray myself online, I felt as though I couldn't put it out there, because I've built all this journey up. I've built it all the way to this sort of, we're going up, and I felt like I'm reaching this summit now, and my channel's growing. I'm doing really well on the Two Ordinary Guys. I'm just starting my second year. I should be happy, and I wasn't happy, and I didn't want to just pretend I was. So when people were asking me questions saying, and sending me a lovely message on Instagram saying, you know, you've inspired me to join the ambulance service. You know, you've inspired me to do this. Thank you for doing it. People are coming to the open days. People are coming to interview days at the University of Worcester and saying that the sole reason they've come to the University of Worcester was because of my videos. And that is amazing. And my passion lies with patient care. I miss going into the care home, for example, and knowing that I'm going to go into, you know, a certain residence, for example, and building up that rapport. I enjoy walking into the room, and you can still do that in the ambulance service, walking into a room and making someone smile. It sounds really, you know, dark and stuff like that, but I had the duty of care through when they came in to when they actually passed away, and I attended residents' funerals, and there were special messages that were sent to me at funerals because the patient care that I'd given and the person-centered care was apparently good enough for that resident's family members to say thank you. And I think I haven't had that warming feeling there since starting this course, and I miss it. I miss that. I really do. Let's get into the sole reason at the start. Let's talk about when it first happened. At the end of first year. So at the end of first year, I went on holiday with Lucy and Lucy's family and my family, and it enabled me to have 2 months of, you know, thinking. And I wasn't thinking about dropping out then. I was just missing, you know, like I said, the care side of it. I was missing, you know, the care home, missing, like I mentioned beforehand, about the, you know, building that rapport with the patient and having that care environment. I was kind of interested in the hospital care of things. Now, I found myself, when I was taking a patient to hospital, thinking about after them, you know, after I'd taken them in, I wonder what they're doing. I wonder what they're, you know, wonder where they are. I wonder where they've been sent to, what department, and I wonder how they're getting on. And I can remember there was this one case. It was a young chappie, and we taken him in, and I built this really big bond, you know, rapport at the back of the ambulance. It was a 2-hour transfer, so it was a long transfer, and we were, you know, laughing and joking. He was my age, and then we take him to the hospital. We weren't really sure what was going on with this chap, so we're taking him in and sort of passed him on to the right department, and then we left, and that was the last job of the day. I went home, and I can remember myself thinking about, I wonder how he is. I wonder what's going on. And I built this strong bond up with this chap, and I started to do more of that. Because a thing with me, and people have always said this to me, that I'm very good at communication. I've probably built this up from the 3 years I've been working in care, and it's a good skill to have, and I take pride in that, really. And you have to have that in any medical job, really, especially ambulance service and especially nursing. That if you have a 2-hour transfer, you need to talk to a patient, else it's just going to be a very awkward 2-hour journey. But because I have the communication, and I ask questions and I get to know them, and I build this bond up, because I feel as though that's person-centered care, and I think that's really, really important. And I felt as though I couldn't really do that with Paramedic Science. I'm going to be honest. It was very much of sort of seeing the patient, sorting out, maybe trying to find out what's wrong with them. And I enjoy doing that, don't get me wrong. But I enjoy more just talking to them, making sure they're okay, giving them the time of day, maybe, you know, sorting out a treatment plan like we do with the ambulance service, but more focus on that person and knowing that they don't like a certain thing, or building a rapport with the patient. I started to have more interest in hospital care. So obviously when I applied to do Paramedic Science, my interest lay in pre-hospital care. I then found myself more thinking about the hospital care side of things. I applied to do some voluntary work in hospital setting, but they didn't get back to me. And then in start of second year, we then went to coronary care, which I recorded a video on. and I sort of talked about how I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed shadowing the nurses and enjoyed that side of care, and it kind of hit the nail on the head, and that's what I want to do. It took me back to a time where I've mentioned in a video previously to this that when my grandma was in the end stages of her life, receiving palliative care by the nurses, I could honestly close my eyes right now and paint you a picture of every single nurse's face and HCA on that ward because of the care. I remember it, and I want that. I want to walk into a room and people to remember my face because of the care that I've given, because that is so powerful. I think that is so powerful to have, that the care you give is remembered for, not because who you are or what grade you have. It's because you can give good person-centered care, and that's why I want to go into nursing. And that's the first time really I've said this to anyone really. I've kind of told my family now, and they've said, you know, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do, and put yourself first. And it kind of feels like a weight lifted off my shoulder that I've said that I want to go into nursing and I want to be a nurse. I felt like I couldn't say that for a very long time, but I do now. And I feel as though at the start of when I applied for Paramedic Science, I was split between Paramedic Science and nursing. I know that I documented my journey to the ambulance service. It's been that very much solely from the start. But I have been interested in nursing, especially palliative care nursing, for a very long time, since my grandma passed away. And the care that they've given to my grandma, I've always inspired to be like that, to give care like that. And quite recently, my uncle received again the palliative care side of nursing, and the care was second to none. Brilliant care, brilliant person-centered care. And like I said, I want to be part of that. I want to be the nurse that people remember, strictly because the care that I give. At the end of first year, I kind of just thought it was second year blues really. I spoke to a couple of the lecturers, and they said, you know, like, push through, you might feel differently come second year, you know, when you start going on the placements. This was before the coronary care, so I've kind of like skipped a bit forward and gone back. This was before the coronary care, and I was looking forward to, and that's what I'm saying, I was looking more forward to the elective placements, because I was going to accident and emergency, we was going into coronary care, we could arrange an end of life placement, and it kind of spoke volumes that I was looking forward more to those placements than I actually was the ambulance shift placements, because that's going to be the job I'm going into at the end of the 3 years. And I kind of stood back and I asked myself, in 5 years' time, where would you want to be, Kyle? You know, you want to be going into work and not regretting it. I see, and there's nothing against the ambulance service, I've seen nurses as well, HCAs, many professionals don't enjoy their job, and I don't want to be that nurse, paramedic, blah blah blah, that goes into work and not enjoy their job. And if I was starting not to enjoy shifts as a student paramedic, I'm probably not going to enjoy shifts as a qualified paramedic, and that's what made me then reach out. So I've spoken to the team again when we started. After my coronary care shifts, I've spoken to the team, the paramedic team, and I sort of said, what opportunities are there for me as a qualified paramedic? And they spoke about, you know, you've got the typical paramedic where, you know, you respond to emergency calls pre-hospitally, you can go into GP surgeries, you know, the primary care settings. There's many opportunities out there, going working on oil rigs and stuff like that. There are many opportunities out there that I think you're very fortunate. You are very employable as a qualified registered paramedic. But for some reason, it didn't reach me in. It didn't grasp me, and it didn't make me excited. So I then spoken to the nursing team at the University of Worcester. They're very helpful, just as the Paramedic Science team are. They're all very helpful. And if you're considering going and speaking to the nursing team at the University of Worcester, or the Paramedic Science team at the University of Worcester, they are very helpful. I would definitely recommend them, going to speak to them if you have any inquiries. she said that what I should do, if I have any doubts, think about where I want to be in 5 years' time. You know, because this decision is your decision. You're gonna have to live with it. But what she doesn't want me to do, and what the Paramedic Science team said is, you shouldn't be doing something you don't want to do because it's your career, basically, and you're putting your own money into it. And when you actually put the finance side down of it, you're paying £9,800 per year just for tuition fees. And if you're not enjoying it, you need to figure out why, and also speak up. Speak to people if you're not enjoying it, because that's important. I then found myself, and this kind of helps. I won't say helps, but with you probably won't know until you work in the ambulance service, and it's probably the same with any stressful job, and I probably will find it with nursing as well, that you pick up this dark humour. Sometimes we'll have dark humour to sort of counteract the facts that we're struggling sometimes about jobs, and we have this dark humour in the ambulance service, and it's not right, I don't think, and I think you should be able to talk about it. From the very, very get-go, there are always people saying, talk about if you have an issue. There's so many people you can talk to in the ambulance service if you have any issues. We have West Midlands Ambulance Service counselling team that you can go and speak to. The university have it, but for some reason I didn't, and this isn't the reason why I'm changing. The reason why I'm changing isn't because I'm struggling with the academic side of things. It's not at all. It's obviously the change of heart and my change of career choice. But there were some times that we'll come home with the lads and stuff like that, and we'll all be sat around the table, and some of the guys will be like, "Oh yeah, I went to a really good job today," and I'll be like, "Oh my god, really, really? What was it?" And they'll be like, "Oh yeah, we went to a patient that was in a car accident," and I'm sort of sitting there like, it's not really a good job, really, is it? And I found my good jobs would be, I wouldn't say a good job, but I enjoy the jobs where you can sort of talk to the patients, where there's like a little old lady that has a little tumble, you help her up, you communicate you communicate with her, and everything's fine, there's no issues, you sort of put the kettle on, she's fine. They are the jobs that I enjoy. And I found that if I don't get that adrenaline when I go to these big jobs, is this the career for me? And it's come back into that, and come back into that question: is this the career for me? The guys like that sort of side of it. They enjoy different. You have different opportunities and different jobs where you can go from that little old lady picking her off the floor to a big road traffic collision where you need to be thinking. And I think I thought I enjoyed that side of the job, but actually I don't. I missed having that familiarity, I can't say the word, where I'd walk in and I know my environment, I know that the medication storage is over there, that there's so many beds on this ward. I miss that. I miss having that care home sort of feel about it. And I know that I'm not always going to be working in a care home. I know now that I want to work in hospital. I know that's the environment that I want to go into. And it's took me a lot of courage to sit here today and really talk about it, because I wasn't going to. But I felt that I had to. I had the respect for you guys. You guys have been amazing. But also I enjoy documenting my journey on YouTube. I really see myself doing this in 5-6 years time. And they're the decisions that I want to be putting down on paper now. Where do I see myself in 5 years time? Well, I see myself in 5 years time. At the moment, I want to be specialising in palliative care nursing, and I want to be documenting my journey to do that. But also, I'm going to keep my eyes open that actually I might not be interested in palliative care nursing when I've done that. There's going to be many placements that I'm going to be doing, and I might actually fall in love with them ones, and I'm not going to be blinded by something when there's many opportunities there on the nursing degree. So you're probably thinking, well, why don't you just ask, and if you got your decision made up in your head, why don't you talk to the nursing team? And that's exactly what I did. I spoke to the nursing team, and they said, because they said to me, go back and think about what you want to do, because this is your career basically. So I did, I thought about it, and I said nursing is what I want to do. And I really felt as though it feels really bad, but I felt as though the impression that I was going behind the Paramedic Science team's back and everything, and I wasn't at all. And I've spoken to the team, and they said, no, you're not, you're being silly. But I know I've made the right decision now. But I did that. They gave me an interview date. But it was after my OSCEs and my exam before we broke up after Christmas, and I was kind of stressed because I would then have to revise for my ALS exam and also my anatomy physiology exam, which are 2 massive exams. If I pass those, I'm kind of halfway through my second year, in effect, and I've done the more difficult side of it. But I knew that I didn't want to be working in the ambulance service, and I knew I wanted to be doing nursing. So I actually reached out to the nursing team and said, is there any possibility that you could get me seen before my exams, because I know that I want to be doing nursing. So they sort of worked the magic, and they got me into an interview date Wednesday, just gone Wednesday. Obviously I was really nervous. It was very strange to go back and do another university interview, because obviously with my Paramedic Science I've already done one, for example. But I walked in there, and just like my Paramedic Science interview, I just spoken with my heart. And I feel as though I walked out of that interview feeling that I smashed it, because I spoke with my heart. And I feel as though if you speak with your heart and give care with your heart, you won't go wrong. In short, you won't go wrong in life if you go with this. So I then had a couple of days to sort of think about what I'm going to do. I haven't been given an offer yet. I haven't been rejected yet. I'm still going to keep myself enrolled on the Paramedic Science course, because I don't want to then finish, in 3 years' time, in a year and a half time, sorry, unemployable, because I'm, a degree down, but also I could, in effect, complete these 3 years and then do an 18 months top up, because, like I said, nursing is where I want to go to. I've decided now that I don't want to be a paramedic anymore, and I know that I want to go down the nursing route. And I think in these situations you need to put down onto paper what are the opportunities and where and how are you going to get there, basically. And I knew that staying on the course could be one of them. I knew that if I completed the course, I could be where I wanted to go to, so I stayed on the course. I was given an offer yesterday, and they accepted me. And I've got to put in a mitigating circumstances. One, it's like a claim, and I could potentially start in September as a second year, because the modules could be transferable from my first year on Paramedic Science, so they could be transferable, which would be amazing. I'm going to go straight into second year nursing. The financial side of it, I was saving a lot of money as well, because I won't have to fund my first year, and I'll only be a year behind everyone else as well, so it won't be too bad, finishing. If I started a first year, I'll be 2 years behind. But I don't want to sort of go off that. If I start a first year, I'm very fortunate to be doing so, and I really look forward to starting, even at first year, a degree now, I can see myself doing now in 5-10 years time, specialising in this, and it really does excite me, it really does. And I feel kind of sorry now that people have messaged me and on social media, and I've not really responded to them. Please, if you have messaged me, I will get back to you. I just want you to watch this video and so you can understand where my head's been and stuff like that, and kind of understand that I've been going through kind of a rough time, and we do go through rough times. And just because I'm documenting my journey, it doesn't mean that I'm going to have blips and this is the journey to the end. It's not at all. And I'd really greatly appreciate if you have been following my journey and you're going into the ambulance service, please don't stop, follow my journey, because I can promise you now that I'm very passionate about nursing and paramedic science. And if you have any questions, I can answer them, because I've done a year and a half, near 2 years now, sorry, on the degree. So if you have any questions and queries, please message me. But the support that you guys have given me has helped me decide where I want to go to now, and this channel I'm very, very grateful for, and the support you guys give, and like I said, is amazing, and I see you all really as close friends. The comments that you give, the feedback that you give me on all my social media accounts, I just want to say thank you, and please do carry on following me, because it really goes a long way for me, and I hope these videos help you guys as well. So we come to now. I've been given an offer. I'm waiting to see if I start at first year or second year, both with an amazing opportunity, and I sit here today now with a brave decision that I had to do. You know, I realised that I didn't want something, and I think to do that, drop my phone. To do that at such a young age that I am, I'm only 21, to say actually I don't want to be doing this, I want to be doing something else, is a very brave thing to do. And because I've built up such a network on social media, at YouTube, where everyone's expecting me to qualify and be this amazing paramedic, to say actually I don't want to be doing this, I take pride in that, because it is a very difficult thing to do, and I don't want to feel as though I've failed in a way, because I haven't. I just realised that this is what I want to do, and I hope you guys, like you have been, support me in my decision and continue to follow my journey throughout my nursing degree at the University of Worcester. I'm very happy now, and I feel as though I can sort of spill the beans and talk about more openly without sort of hiding and lying, because I don't like lying and I don't agree with that at all. So it was kind of bringing me down, it was affecting my mental health, and I didn't like that at all. So I just want to say, like I said a thank you to you guys as well, but also thank you to Lucy, who supported me. You know, it's been difficult, and I've got a lump in my throat there, because it's been an emotional decision to decide this isn't for me, because from such a young age I thought it was, but it wasn't, and I really felt as though my family and would kind of be I felt as though they're going to be disappointed in me, because the title as being a paramedic is has always been important to me, but to have that courage to say I don't want to do that anymore, it's been a big thing for me, and I am thankful for them for supporting me. They've been very, very good the past couple of days, and hopefully we can then move on now and look forward to starting in September. So what I'm going to do now, obviously find out, just have that little blip, then I start to say thank you to you guys. Thank you to Lucy, she's been really, really good. My family have been amazing, you guys have been amazing, everyone has been amazing, you know, and I'm me again. I want to be me again. I want to be passionate about stuff that I enjoy. Patient care is where I want to go to, and I want to walk into that room and make someone smile. That's what I want to do. That is my sole aim. So if I now write down everything I wanted to prior to university, I was kind of hindered in a way that Paramedic Science is where I wanted to go to. But actually, I think it was nursing, honestly. I think I wanted to be a nurse. But I'm very grateful that actually, if it wasn't for Paramedic Science, I probably wouldn't be here today, because it's helped me gain my knowledge that I have now, my practical skills as well, build such a supportive network on YouTube, but also it's helped me point me in the right direction, and I think that's what life is all about, being pointed in the right direction and snatching that opportunity and speaking up. I think speaking up is the best thing to do. I'm in a situation now where I've got to wait until I find out where I am. Yes, I'm going to learn to drive, so I can get to placements and stuff like that, so I'm not restricted on where I can go on placement when I start my nursing degree, if I'm going into year 1 or year 2 in September. I don't want to be restricted. I want to drive. I think it's very important that I need to drive. I knew I needed to drive anyway, it's just finding that time, and I think now I won't be having any study, because obviously I'll be withdrawing from Paramedic Science probably before Christmas, so it's coming up very soon. I'll have that time to focus on myself, put my things I need to do first, for example my driving and stuff like that. I have got a job at the moment. I'm applying for a new job where hopefully I want to go into NHSP, where I'll be earning a bit of money to pay for my driving and to pay for my rent, because I will still be living in Worcester, so I also have to pay rent, so we'll have to fund that side of it as well. So there are many things coming up, but definitely this journey isn't coming to an end. It's just starting, and I feel so much better now that I've spoken about it. And I want you guys to go away and think where you want to be in 5 years. I think that's a very important question. Where do you want to be in 5 years' time? And it's okay to question yourself. If you have a goal and it's not what you think it is, it's okay to say, is this what I want? Is this where I want to go? Because you're not a failure, and there will be people out there that will support you. And if there isn't, then they're not very good people, and there are very good people out there. So speak up, act up, but also put yourself first, because that's so important. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for the support, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, which is probably going to be me withdrawing from the course and then taking it from the next step there. But I'm going to keep you guys in the loop. I'm going to stick to a regular schedule, because I have big aspirations for this channel alone. My main massive aim for this channel would be to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of next year. So that's a sort of goal for me, so I'm working towards that as well. So thank you guys for making this happen, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Make sure you like and subscribe down below, and follow me on social media. Bye.